Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I have a pretty grim rack, a long way from a bingo. I've got 4 scoring tiles plus the G. Now with 2 vowels I ought to be able to score something off this rack, which means that playing will be better than changing, but it's going to be a struggle to leave a decent rack leave, so this rack may take 2 or 3 turns to deal with. I've got the best scoring tile of all in the Z, and that goes well with the O and the A. So I've got Zag on my rack, and Zar and Zo. There's not very much else. Wow, good start for my opponent. 74 points. And plenty of floaters. Can I do better than Zar or Zo in column 7? Well, I could play Soz in row J for 32. That's leaving a lot of high-scoring tiles. I could play Favour in row E. It's not a priority to get rid of the Z. Through a D I would have Vodka. It would be nice to get rid of the V. But the Favour score isn't very much. Now, what am I missing? There's row F with the triple letter square. This is a really tricky rack to deal with. So, should I do Soz? I could play Kavaz in row J. 19 points. Now, I've spent a while on this move. I think I will play Soz. It doesn't provide many opportunities for my opponent. And I pick up a W. And an O. Well, the O's a good thing to see when I've got a shortage of vowels. So I could play Wok in row K. Both my O and my A go underneath the Z. I don't have a double-double in row E. I could play Waif in row F. Only 18 points, that's not very many. So I'm still 2 or 3 moves away from having a decent rack leave. I'm looking at the double letter square above the O of Soz. I can't see a way of getting one of my... Well, I suppose my K could go there. I could play Work. £28 points, that's a much better score than Waif. I've got a Vow in row E. Well, that work spot has been taken. My opponent has provided a floating E. Does that help me? Yes, it does. I can play Fovea down here. And it's good to get rid of the F and the V. Fovea takes E, L and S, so I am opening up row M. Not a great rack leave, but I don't think a great rack leave was achievable, and this scores 30 points. Wow. I draw a blank. This rack is improving. I'm close to Gweduk, but not close enough. I've got weed as a suffix with KG blank. So I could have a bingo with this rack. There's the Eye of Balers, enabling an ING ending word with the blank as an N, but I don't have one. I don't think Kingweed is good. I do have an E for going underneath Fovea, so I may be able to score well if my opponent leaves that spot available. I don't... My D can go above OM in column 9. Can't see anything great there. Now I'm looking at the floaters and balers in case I've got a bingo that I haven't yet spotted. I don't think edge work is good. My opponent's used 4.5 minutes, I've used 3. Now I've only got one vowel, or I've got 2 E's, but that's only one of the 5 vowels. Which makes it hard to find short words. I could play weak in row M. It would be nice to get one of my K or my W on the double letter square. Can't see a way of doing that. Great, only 18 points for my opponent. He's still got a 50-point lead. He's provided a floating E. That doesn't help me. Now, I could play weak in row C across here. .33 points, which is a good score. Weak takes an E after it as well as an S. The rack leave isn't great. It would be nice to play off the G, the W and the K. Ah, well, maybe I can do that. I can play... I was thinking about playing Gawked, but Begone blocks that. I could play Gauk down here. A much better rack leave than after weak. And only 6 fewer points. Now, what would weak score in row M and making Fovea? 32 points, an 8-point drop. Well, the E is certainly worth about 4 points, and I think its value is enhanced with the blank. So I think I'm going to go with Gauk. This looks pretty good. I have C-seeded, which plays in row M, and also I think gosh, does begone take an S? Not sure about that. I'd rather not take that risk. And my opponent's taken the seceded spot. And scored, well, 42 points for Jerry. Reseeded is also good. But there's nowhere for either of those unless begone takes something. Now, do I have anything in column 15? Through the Y. Well, if I don't see a bingo, I've certainly got died in column 15. 33 points, which is pretty good, and that's going to leave a decent rack leave. Now this is a fairly open board, and it's a reasonably good rack. I don't want to miss a bingo. And the floating R of Jerry goes quite well with this rack. Let me just run through the alphabet and see if anything leaps out at me. Haven't seen anything yet. This looks reasonably promising. I've got 13 minutes left. Dejected through a T. I'm also looking at the floaters in Baylor's. Haven't seen anything yet. So I have decreed with this rack. Well, that doesn't go anywhere. That's my seceded rack. Now I would have deceived through an I. I've blocked that through the eye of Baylor's. Well, maybe I don't have anything. And if I've missed a bingo, it won't be an expensive error because this is going to score well and leave the blank on my rack, which is worth 25 points. So although this scores 33 points, it's actually a 58-point play. Now, surely there's something here. Nuclease through an L. That doesn't quite work with the L of Baylor's. Do I have a 7? Can be quite tricky to spot bingos when you've got 4 vowels, including a U. Ah, Ucane. But there is nowhere for a 7-letter bingo, or this 7-letter bingo. Nucleate, possibly. Now the Q does go with the U. Fortunately, my opponent is using a fair bit of time, which gives me extra thinking time. 21 points for my opponent. Good, he's not zooming off. Okay, well, I can't see A7. I've got the floaters in Baylor, so I've got an A. I've got an I. An L. Which looks hopeful. The L looks quite good. There's the O. And the R. Now, whereas last time I had a good play and died, I don't have a good available option that I have identified yet. I've got the un prefix. And I've got the R of Baylor's. Well, it'll be annoying to miss a bingo with this rack. It'll certainly be high probability. Now, I note that well, no I don't. Can I use the F of Fauvire? Well, I could play face. It would be nice to play off the U as well. I don't think unface is good. I've only got under 10 minutes left, so I need to play fairly quickly. I could play fawn. Cuniate is good as a 7. I'm tempted to play face for the score. I do have the N to go with the U, and I am providing a good floater in the E in column 15. Now I have duplicates E and T, and I'm a little short on time. There are 47 tiles in the bag. Qnet is good. Nowhere for that. The 7-letter lanes are rows L and N for bingos ending S and A or O. But I don't have any such bingos with this rack. And I have no scoring tiles. But I do have... Now I have unsettle in row G. Great. Hopefully that will remain available. It is going to score quite lowly, but since I only have 1-point tiles, it's going to score a lot better than any non-bingo. I'm close to Ritenuto, which would have been a nice play in row H, but I don't have it. I'm one letter away from that. Now onto a D, I would have untested. I've got the teen suffix. Now my opponent's got a 40-point lead. He may be tempted to play down column 7 to take out some of the Baylor's floaters, but in doing so he may be opening up a 7-letter lane in column 6. But at the moment Qnet is the only 7 that I've spotted. My opponent's got 11 minutes on his clock. would be nice to have an alternative bingo to unsettle, but I haven't seen anything else. Let me see if anything comes to mind. Well, let me stop that. So, unsettle remains available in row G. Good bingo by my opponent, 85 points. So I'm still going to be behind after unsettle. But do I have a better bingo than unsettle? Column 5 through the eye of plinth would get doubled, as would column 3 through the P. Well, I think I'm going to play unsettle. I don't really want to go through the whole alphabet with only 8 minutes left, having already got a bingo. And I am providing floaters, which is good, since I'm behind. So unsettle, 60 points. And that is pretty awful. Scoring tiles in the P and the Y, but a dreadful selection of vowels to go with them. I think goopy is good. I could play that in row C, but that would be retaining 3 A's, which I don't want to do. Ideally, in this situation, I would be playing off 2 A's and an O, but that's pretty hard to do. Now I could play Hoya in column 8. That helps to sort the rack out. Ooh, 52 points. Good score for my opponent. And he's taking out floaters. This will provide a couple of lanes. And 30 points. Well, that could have been a lot worse. I think I have ovipara. Not totally sure that that's good. But in any event, there's nowhere to play it. And I don't think ovipari is good. Now this is a lot better than the previous rack. It's good to have the E of face available as a floater, since I do need a bingo to win, I think. I could play Vag in column 10, Vag and Ag. Not a great play. It doesn't open up any new bingo lanes, it doesn't score very much, but it also doesn't close down any existing bingo lanes. I need to be sure or try and avoid missing a bingo. That would be expensive. I've got the T of unsettle as a good floater. Can't see anything through that, but it's good to keep it available. 28 points for my opponent. Now I could play Via in row O. There are 4 eyes unseen, so I'd quite like to play off the eye. The V has got to be in first place in row O if I'm going to play there. So I could play Via, keeping AORP. 7 minutes left, 22 tiles in the bag. 24 points for Via. What would be better? And that's certainly better than Vag. Well, this doesn't feel great. I don't think the A and the O go well together, particularly. But I do need to get rid of the V. So let's see what I draw. Well, that's pretty good. I would have 4 passed through an E, but neither the E's of unsettle or that in face quite works, and I don't think 4 passed has got an anagram. No other E's available. But overall this is quite a promising rack. Unfortunately I'm 87 points behind, so even a bingo may not be enough. Can't see anything through the T of unsettle. But I've got good scoring tiles in the F and the P. So I could play Fap in column 13, keeping roast. And that would keep the good floaters available. Well, my opponent obstructs the E of face, but the E of unsettle is still available. Now I could play Fap up here. I'm playing off the A, which is a good tile. I'm not opening up any new bingo lanes, which is bad. 33 points is a good score. Can I do anything better elsewhere? Well, I think I do need to keep scoring since I'm 100 points behind. Slight vowel shortage. No E's left. Only one A. Only 9 vowels out of 23 tiles. So I could have a consonant-heavy rack. So the alternative to that would be to play Fap in column 13. 22 points, 11 fewer points. Is the A worth 11 points? I don't think so. Not a great rack. Don't think I have anything through the E of unsettle. I'm expecting my opponent to do something about that floater this go. Strouded isn't good. So how can I open more lanes? Not easy with this board. I do still have the R of Baylors. Great, my opponent has left the floaters available. Now, I could play Jude down here, which is opening up a lane in row B. But it's only scoring 10 points and I'm 90 points behind. Well, if I play this, I'll be 80 points behind. And I think it is important to open a new lane if I can. But I'm not sure that's a particularly good lane. There are no E's left, and the D is most often features in words ending ED. So is there somewhere better? Only 3 and a bit minutes left on my clock. Well, I could play Duad in column 13, but that doesn't open any lanes at all. That will be 14 points. I think I'll go with this. I have Ragoos. I have Outrages in column 5. That will be good. Can't see anything through the R of Baylors. I think Outdrags is good, but the D of Jude is not in the right position for that. I can't play Outrages in column 15. Now there is a bingo lane in column 3 through IN for a 9-letter word. So I could have a play ending INGS. Can't see anything there. So I'm 78 points behind at the moment. There are 7 tiles in the bag. And the cue has not yet been played, and if my opponent has it, he could play it above the eye of plinths, which would leave the E of unsettle available for outrages. Well, unfortunately not. That bingo has been blocked. Can't see anywhere, or my opponent hasn't opened anywhere for ragouts. I've got 3 minutes left, 3 tiles in the bag. But I am only 1 bingo behind, and there are bingo lanes available on this board, so the game is not lost. Now, if my opponent has the cue, well, he's provided another spot with lion for it. A play of Gu here leaves 1 in the bag. Doesn't block any lanes. I've got 2.5 minutes left. Just wondering if I have any bingos in columns 5 and 6 through OE and NT. Very difficult to see 9-letter plays. Well, I think I'll go with this. 14 points would take me to 317, about 70 or 80 behind. I draw the cue. I could play QI in row D, but with only 1 tile in the bag, I am not going to bingo with this rack. So I think this game is lost. My opponent's got a pretty grim rack. And he does well to score 24 points, so I can play Chi here. And that's 46 points, which is pretty good. The bag's empty. I'm keeping roast. So I've got our 8s in column 15. Well, I think we're going to play this because I don't think there's anything better. Yeah, I could play Chi down here in column 8, Chi and Id. Only 36 points. I think this is the highest scoring spot. So do I have a second spot to go out? Yes, I do. I have aortas in row O. So aortas, 7 points, or 8s, also 7. Can I score more than that? Well, nothing is springing to mind. I've got 1.5 minutes left. Can't see anything through the D of Jude. Well, except what about Troads? I think that's good. That would be 11 points. Now what about the R of Baylors? Can't see anything there. Can't see anything in column 15 beginning with an S to make Jeets. 16 points for my opponent, as he provided a spot for me to go out and score more. Amoret's Omerta's Maestro. Okay, so I think I'll play Troads. For 11. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And the final score, 380 to me, 432 for my opponent, a winning margin of 52 points. Let's see what I missed. And I'm expecting to see some missed bingos here. Okay, this was my opponent's opening rack. Nice bingo for him. And I played Soz for 32, and that was the best available, and all of those rack leaves look pretty grim. Wow, nice rack for my opponent. Surely he has a bingo here. No. Okay. Now, what did I do? I played Fovea for 30. A Vow was available for 32. Well, opening up column 15, so not much between those. Let's see what my opponent could have done here. Well, no bingos. And this is the first rack where I think I may have missed a bingo. And I didn't. Uked was playable, that would have been nice. M9. Okay, making Fovea 40 points. And then C11 Kedge. Well, that's sticking an E in column 15 above a double letter square. Don't particularly like that. So what did I do? Gauk for 24. Well, I'm keeping a much better rack leave than any of the options above, but I'm not sure that it's worth the 16 point sacrifice. Probably not. So I think Uked was the play there. Nice play by my opponent, 42 points. Now, what did I miss here? Nothing. Wow, I'm surprised. And Died looks best. This was my opponent's rack. He has hip line. Not sure if there's any way to play it. There isn't. And I think this is another rack where I couldn't see a bingo. And this time there was one. Cuneated. Ah, look at that. Row O. High Re is good. I didn't consider that lane. That would have been a fabulous bingo. Instead I played Face for 27. Significantly inferior. This was my opponent's rack. He played Plinths. And this was my rack where I played Unsettle. And I could have played Tautened at 08. Ah, well that's again using the high re hook, which I didn't consider, and almost all the options shown there used that hook. So that was an expensive oversight. And I provided my opponent the opportunity to get 50 for his X, so very expensive. Now, I'm back with a non-bingo-y rack, and I'm over 100 points behind. I played Hoya for 30, and that looks best. My opponent plays Beanery, and I had Ovipara and nowhere to play it. And this is where I played Via. For 24, I could have got 33 for VOAR and 38 for Varia. I think those are probably better than my move. My opponent plays Cheat, and I had 4 passed which wouldn't play. And this is where I played FAP at B12, which is the top choice there. I was slightly unhappy with it given the vowel shortage, but nothing looks obviously better. This was my opponent's rack, and he played a lot. And this was a poor rack, and all of the opportunities here are low scoring. So I think Jude is fine. My opponent then blocked my outrageous bingo, which was the right thing to do. I had nowhere to go and played goo for 14. I don't know whether it would have been sensible to hold on to the U in the hope of getting a bingo with the Q. Possibly. My opponent played core. I did have the Q. And at this point, G looks best. That was my play. My opponent played some, and I played troads for 11, and that was the highest scoring out. So, an interesting game. There was a missed bingo, cuneated, and that arose partly out of my failure to spot the E-hook for higher in game time. And sometimes missed bingos are, well, all missed bingos are annoying, but sometimes they don't cost you the game, and sometimes they do. And in this instance, I think cuneated probably would have had a big impact on the outcome of the game. But anyway, bingos do get missed, and that happened in this game. But there were a variety of interesting racks to consider, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.